Good morning, everybody, and this is your S&P 500 day trade setups for today. So nothing really happened yesterday. Noise came out and we just bounced around. Formed a pretty big range bar on the 8 hour. I think the critical aspect here is if you look at the daily, nothing really going on here. There are buyers coming in, but we're not getting much traction. So if you watch the oscillators at the moment, the longer this kind of confusion goes on, oscillators will group back to the upside like that, and this will just become a consolidation area. Just on the weekly as well, we've got a bit of an inside bar forming. Nothing really to write home about. This is the important part on the weekly, is the grouping of the oscillators to the downside. So nothing confirmed yet that we have a bottom or a potential bottom, but this is looking really oversold at the moment. So with all of that noise in the back of your head, we need to have a look at what is going on in the lower time frames. And firstly, on the 3 hour this week, there's been nothing really going on. Range bar, we have broken the trend line a little bit, not with much conviction. And then at the same time, if you look at my oscillators have crossed over. So two rejections up here at this area, and then oscillators crossed over. Moving over, you're still in a bearish pattern. So nothing here that is indicating that there is a potential change or a bottom. What is happening though is there is a that wasn't what we wanted. Sorry, we want that one. There is a wedge forming. So if you look at it this way, the most logical thing at the moment, if the wedge breaks the downside, is a move into this area here, which is 37.24. And just go back to the 8 hour just to pick up if there is anything there. And yep, there is quite a bit happening at that area. So 37.24 is what it's lining up for at the moment. But yeah, let's just get to the 8 hour. The higher time frames does indicate that is potentially what is going to happen. But what you're going to have to wait for is confirmation. You don't want to just jump in on this and assume that it's going to fall, because that is not always the case. Let's just clear up some of the noise. So for me, look for the areas which you need to watch out for a break to the downside, and that is going to be the low of yesterday. So that's pretty much the structure that we have at the moment. That's 39.18. Break and retest of that, then you have a move to 38.60. Break and retest of that, then the measured move is on down to 37.24. So that's the first setup that we have at the moment. Right now we've got an inside bar as well as a pin bar off structure, and the structure is at 39.88. So the converse is now true if we find support. And what I want to do, we'll have to add another line, but let's just put a small line in. Okay, so there is a little bit of structure here. You can see we found support and resistance here, just in that area. If I come down to 15 minutes, you'll probably see it a lot clearer. Kind of, not really, but that is the area. And if you look there, it is also the retest of the trend line. So this area is critical as well, 39.58, 39.50 area. If we can get price back to that area, it would almost validate a potential range. If it drops below that, then you have a double top, and that double top target is going to be down to the low of yesterday. So that's the one scenario. So this is basically what I'd be looking for, is if we get back into this zone, it's going to retest the trend line. It is going to retest the moving average break. And if we start bouncing off that, then definitely another attempt to the upside at 39.88. So the other thing to bear in mind is, I've got a trend line drawn in here, but if you use this level here as the top of the triangle, you also have a flat top triangle. So basically you've got a bullish pattern and a bearish pattern all in one, and that just indicates the level of confusion that we have. Oscillators are not offering anything. There is diversions here for a move to the downside. The bigger time frames is all setting up for a move to the downside, but you've got to bear in mind that we have had 3 messy green days in a row, so it really wouldn't surprise me to see a pullback onto probably the bottom of this wedge area here, 39.46, and then another move up for another close higher. And that's all the bulls are looking for, is closes higher. But this tails to the upside, tails to the downside is a clear signal of confusion. So for me, pay attention to these micro levels. We do have a bit of an uptrend forming, so on the 15 minutes, so it is possible for another move up. This area is critical. We need to hold it. So 39.88, we break above that and hold it, then I would expect us to bump our head against this top trend line, bounce back, and then keep bumping up. What can also happen is this can turn into a range. It can turn into a range, or alternatively it could turn into a channel. So that's the two multiple scenarios that we have. It's not just two scenarios. So nothing clear cut, I think, is again the message for today. It's probably the same as what it's been most of the week. It's just confusion. Bias is slightly to the upside for today. So until we start dropping below the low of yesterday, then that bias changes. But at the moment, we're looking for a pullback on structure, which is going to be roughly in this area, 39.59, and then we're looking for another move up. We drop below this, that validates this big double top here, and that's more than likely going to move to the low of yesterday at 39.18. Break that, then it's game on for the measured move to the downside here at 38.60. Okay, that's kind of my view today. Nothing really concrete, but there's a lot going on, so you have to either sit back and wait for a better structure, or get down to lower time frames and trade the lower time frames as you see the price action forming. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.